There we go.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up. Hear a knock on the door and the night begins.
All right, that's going to get us flagged on YouTube and taken down, but welcome to the War Report, brought to you by TagMeAtDate.com, as usual, every Tuesday night, live and in public, if you will, baby. This is our WrestleMania special with half of our guys working second shift. But we do have the boss, not the boss Sasha Banks. We've got the boss of TagMeAtDate.com, Steve. How's it going, sir?
It is going great. I'm exhausted, but it was worth every minute. It was an amazing 5 days, and again, everything special thanks and everything goes to the man over there from Gimmick Tree Entertainment and Modern Vintage Wrestling. Charlie Armstrong made it happen for me, and made it happen for Tag Me a Day, and I couldn't thank you enough. It's an honor to be able to call you a friend and work with you, one of the best promoters in the business, Charlie Armstrong. So
Charlie Armstrong, Gimmick Tree Entertainment. How was your trip, sir?
What up, man? I'm still on my trip. I am on the what is now what is called Road to WrestleMania 2017 starts now for me.
Yep. That's all we're starting. We start fresh on Monday and shoot right to WrestleMania.
Yep.
We're not, but now.
Well, we'll get down to it because if you notice, we don't have Ryan, but we've got Charlie and Steve.
Yeah. So we're gonna make it, and we have so much to talk about because it was just nonstop action all the way through. For me, we flew out. Charlie rented this amazing house where we stayed with Bill Apter and Lonnie Poffo and the Gimmick Tree crew. Oh, we got stories, but it was just a beautiful house. Me and Justin, who helps out with Tag Me a Date, we stayed in a media room. I mean, my man, this was a movie theater room. And so Justin, right before we left, scratched his cornea, and he was like Ray Charles throughout the entire week, wearing sunglasses everywhere, and yeah, it was bad. But he plugged it out because he was like, "It's WrestleMania, and I'm not missing it." So, so we had this beautiful house Thursday. And then it was go time Friday morning. I mean, we were up and out of the house by 7-ish. Went to WrestleCon. We did WrestleCon all day, promoting. And then that evening was my very first experience with NXT and NXT Takeover. And our seats were phenomenal. Where our seats were, I mean, we could see. I mean, we were close. And if I looked over to my left, it was the back part of the stage area, so off camera, behind the curtain kind of deal. And one of the most amazing parts of the whole show at NXT was phenomenal. But obviously, the one that stole it was Sami Zayn and what's his face? Nakamura, yeah.
Dude, that fucking match.
But I want to just say, before the match, I look over to the pit area, and the entire back cleared out. I mean, I saw Seth Rollins was there, Cesaro, Becky Lynch, Patrick from Tough Enough, and Sarah Lee from Tough Enough. The Iron Sheik got wheeled out. Scott Hall, X-Pac, Michael Hayes. They all came out to watch this match.
Now, here's what I heard.
I thought that was very cool.
I heard that usually for the NXT live events, they bring guys in to show them on camera real quick. Like John Cena showed up on camera that one show, and then the guy from Game of Thrones showed up real quick on that one show. And they really just have him in the crowd standing next to Stephanie or Shane, next to a McMahon to look good. And then they throw him away. But in Dallas this year, The story that I heard was everybody was there of their own free will. They wanted to see the show. They weren't
100%.
just there for an appearance. That's
100%. That's what I took from it. They all came out on their own accord. They came out of the curtain and they stayed in the back, but dead-eye view of the ring, and they all sat there and watched. And if anything, that's just a real show of respect. I mean, it was just very cool to see. Stephanie was ringside the entire show. Bobby fucking Roode was in the crowd, which was awesome, and the ovation was great. And the whole card was great. The ending to the Bayley match, it seemed to be very abrupt.
Yeah.
And I was kind of weirded out. And quite frankly, if anybody goes back on the network and watches, they may have cleaned it up already, but if you go back and rewatch Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, when they stopped the match for the second time because of the bleeding, the bullshit chant that was started was from yours truly.
Thank you.
And I was very proud of myself because I got the whole place going.
Well, of course you did. You're an instigator.
You're damn right, and it was awesome. But yeah, so I mean, but the whole NXT experience was just awesome. I was upset I didn't get to see Enzo and Cass, but
yeah,
we made up for it, which we'll get to. So that whole experience was great. And then we get back to the hotel or to the house Saturday. We're back up out of the house at 7 a.m. and going back to WrestleCon for the day. And that day we had Amber O'Neal from the Bullet Club, and we had Jasmine St. Clair at our table the whole day, signing autographs and taking pictures, and that was just a really good time. And then that night was the Hall of Fame. And I thought the Hall of Fame was actually really, really good. So that was cool. And then Sunday was Mania, and it was Mania. I mean, it was just. I read your comments.
Dude, I feel like it didn't, like, if you watched Monday night and then you watched Sunday night and you watched it in reverse, you'd be really confused. Be like, well, the shit that happened on Sunday got undermined by everything that happened on Monday. That was kind of that's such the weird thing about it. Shane loses a match to gain control of Raw, and then gets control of Raw.
Well,
the Usos lost, and then the Usos won. Then they got their loss back, or Dudley's got their win back in the tables match instead of having the tables match on the Mania. I don't know. It was just all the finishes seemed like they didn't end up meaning anything by the next day, because the only thing that changed in WWE was Roman Reigns getting the belt. Everything else stayed the same because they stacked the show with heel wins to make Roman's win better. They sandwiched it with babyface wins. You had Ryder, and then you had Reigns, but everything else in the middle was a heel victory. So it was a weird pay-per-view.
I definitely really weird. I definitely understand what you're saying, and maybe I'm a little biased because I was there. And of course, the experience when you're there live is completely different.
Oh, and I agree. I definitely agree.
So, in my point of view, I mean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but at the same time, finishes aside, I thought the actual WrestleMania itself was a lot better than anyone expected.
Well-wrestled show.
It was a well-wrestled show. It was booked correctly. The order of the matches, I think, was done right. And then the stuff in between, Austin and Michaels and Mick Foley coming out, that was a nice surprise. That was great. The Rock segment was great. John Cena's return was great. So they had a lot of great moments. Shane O'Mac flying off the top of the cell. I mean, not for nothing, but to see that live, I mean, holy fuck. I mean, it was really solid. And to go back on what you were just saying, when talking about Shane and The Undertaker and him losing and getting control, in a weird way, that was Vince saying, "You earned my respect."
Yeah, there you go.
Like, all right, let's see what you got. You were willing to jump off a fucking 20-foot cell to make your point, so go ahead and do it. Because in his eyes, you're going to tank anyway. Meanwhile, ratings were through the roof. And rightfully so, because Raw was a great show, but I don't want to get into Raw just yet.
Right. Let's
you know,
yeah.
I'll let Charlie, why don't you give some thoughts on Mania?
Give us a rundown, because, I have a very outside sense of what it is to book a show. I've promoted shows with a guy that would book, like, I was the promoter and he was the booker kind of deal, like, in terms of, like, I would do the commercials and the posters and all that. That's a fucking hard. First of all, I don't ever envy anything you do because I know how hard promoting is. So I have a lot of respect for the fact that first of all, you're promoting from Las Vegas and you're promoting in North Carolina, which I was promoting like 3 towns over from my house, and that's fucking hard to do. So that's hard as fuck to do across the country. That's the first thing. So I don't know the booking side. I know what I know from being in booking meetings and kind of being a fly on the wall in booking meetings and occasionally giving an opinion. And I agree with Steve that the match order was good. I might have given the ladies the semi-main event spot instead of the Battle Royal, or put something else in there as the come down, because it was a come down from Shane's loss, but it was a big fucking come down from like you were at a 10 amped for the title match, and then you're like, wait a minute, we got to wait through this everybody out of the pool match. So I don't know. That was like my only nitpick with the order of the matches. I just think that maybe a couple of the matches could have had different finishes. I just didn't. It was a very every finish that was done last night or 2 nights ago to me was not the exact opposite of what I thought, but it was so far different from what people were talking about with WrestleMania. Like, there was no interference. The whole show, aside from Ric Flair interfering on Charlotte's behalf, right, and grabbing Sasha, that was the only interference. Everything else was clean, which is amazing to see in WWE because there's not a lot of clean finishes. But you're so used to it now. There were no, like, Shane lost. He just lost. Mankind didn't come out, and try and help him throw up.
But Shane lost because
and because he should lose to the Undertaker.
Well, right, that's
straight up. If there's shenanigans, he can.
I want to give you guys what I thought.
Give me your thought, because, like I said, I only know what I know. I want to say from your perspective. I want to see what we got.
I think the Andre Battle Royal was the perfect spot for that, for the fact that it came right out of Shane. The crowd was red hot. I was lucky enough. I was sitting down I was on the floor. I was right beside the entrance rampway.
Charlie, by the way, did you get my text?
Yeah. I mean, literally. I mean, you see Gimmick Tree shirts the whole night, which we were literally right on the entrance rampway, the corner there, and you could see, I mean, everybody, all the entrances, the grand. That was my big thing in getting those tickets was, I want to see the entrances, because obviously the production value, I respect a lot, going into doing what I do in the business. Mm-hmm. Now, I think where it was at was perfect for the fact that the crowd was so red hot out of Shane. I mean, I can break down the whole Shane versus Undertaker. Everyone's like, oh, Shane's Undertaker, all these interferences. I wacky series of a Sting and all that stuff. But as a booker, if you're booking the show, it was a great placement because you had Shane, and then you could not put the women on after them because the women needed their own thing, because they
were their own. Honestly, they're not the come down anymore. I really shouldn't do that to them. But I mean, like, I don't know. It was a funky from home. It was funky. You know what I mean? It just was.
I've watched the pay-per-view back since then. From obviously an app or a phone or whatever, and just to see it. Because obviously when you're there, you don't get to see the commentary and my input.
Anything.
Byron
Saxton. I very rarely complain about the commentary because the commentary, aside from Michael Cole being just Michael Cole, which you live with, Byron Saxton at WrestleMania, when Jerry Lawler and Booker T and Mauro Ranallo and everybody else, Renee, Corey Graves, Tom, anybody could have done that. Fucking Byron, he's the shits. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. Continue.
But the issue I think that WWE has is that you wanted. I think the placements of the matches were all fine because everybody kind of, you got excited. You thrilled. I mean, look how early Brock was in the show. Brock was fairly early in the show.
He was wicked. Me and Alexis, my girlfriend, we looked at each other like they're playing the package for Brock and Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 9 o'clock or 9:50. We're like, what's going on here? That's how stacked. I mean, the show was pretty stacked in terms of the importance of the matches.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, now I understand the whole. Now, what you guys did not see out there on camera when camera went off the air was at the end. You went from when the pay-per-view ended. You ended with Roman on top of the stage with the belt, fireworks, the normal traditional WrestleMania moment. What I seen afterwards, I seen Triple H walking around the ring, kissing his family.
Stephanie too.
His daughter, absolutely. His mother, his mother-in-law, and it was literally, you could see that you could tell, Hunter knew this was my last deal. Like, not saying this is his last Mania, but this my last title run, because I don't think he doesn't want to be the guy that beats Flair's record. You know what I mean? Or ties Flair's record.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, he wants Cena or somebody like that to do it.
Yeah, and it's well deserved. I mean, here's the thing. My opinion of John Cena's return and the whole Rock thing, to me, I think it was. I've heard people shit on it. I've heard people put it over. As a booker, you had The Rock come in. Now, you could have had The Rock come in, and you could have had The Rock wrestle at WrestleMania, right?
Correct.
You got a great match at him with anybody. But what did he do? He came in the ring. He got the people hot with a great entrance, with the whole putting the stadium record over, WrestleMania record over, and all that good stuff. Obviously, they fell way short of what they wanted. They wanted to break the all-time attendance record, and they were close, but they didn't do it. And I mean, and what you alluded to earlier, having $250 nosebleed tickets, was probably the reason. Here or there, I mean, it was a packed house. Rock comes out, does his deal. Ray Wyatt hits. No one's seen that coming.
Right.
And Ray Wyatt he put Ray Wyatt over in the promo. He said,
he put him over like $1 million.
No question. He did a great job. Now, right afterwards, boom. Obviously, Eric Rowan gets jobbed out in 6 seconds. Big deal. You had your WrestleMania moment with The Rock. You didn't have The Rock Ray Wyatt didn't get jobbed out. His lackey got jobbed out. So that does not water Ray Wyatt down at all. Now, Cena comes out, obviously, the big return, and honestly, you could not have done it any better.
No, because if Cena affected the finish of a match that night, there were enough smarky people, and I know that there are a ton of people that love John Cena, and I don't particularly hate the guy. If you asked me in 2007, I would have given a different answer. But I feel like no matter what, if he came out and affected a finish, and it would have been like one of those fucking videos you see online where something normal's happening, and they go, "Well, what's that?" And his name is John Cena. Like it would be like one of those videos, and everybody would have shat on it. So I'm glad they didn't go that way.
Well, I'm glad for John, because I support Cena. I think as a promoter, if you have a John Cena type guy who's a company guy, he's the face of the company. I don't care who has a title. While John Cena still has boots on or tennis shoes on, he is the face of the company, and he's the guy that can go internationally. Who's took the time to learn several different languages, to go overseas, to be a spokesman for the company. For a business model, phenomenal.
Right.
Now, like I said, here or there. Like I said, to me, this was my second Mania in a row. I think the energy of this Mania was amazing. I wasn't a fan of the Monday Night Raw. I mean, we can get into that. I mean, I was there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very disappointed. The
I
crowd
thought the crowd was fantastic.
The crowd came off great on TV. People complained that they were trying to put themselves over, but I mean, fuck. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, you literally had like the Social Outcast. They taped a match with the Social Outcast for Superstars, and my God, you know, it was the first time you ever seen the Social Outcast truly get over with all the international marks.
Right.
They just, I mean, yeah, they were taking people's beach balls away before they could blow them up and the whole thing. I mean, here or there, like I said, to me, AJ getting his moment on that thing, I think is a start for WWE to start to actually make a change a little bit.
Yeah.
Put Cesaro in that spot in the main, because everyone behind me was like, "Oh my God, John Cena's coming out! John Cena's coming out! John Cena's coming out!"
I figured it might have. There was a small chance it was Rollins because I heard he's close. But I think that's May. I think him and Cena full time back on the roster are both going to be May. So.
Right, and I mean it's fine. Like I said, but
Cena wasn't the guy for that spot. Cesaro was the guy for that spot, and I think
because of the international,
exactly
the international crowd
and
that was there.
Speaking to that, I think just from the Raws that you get in London, how unique they are, and then when you see a company like TNA do so well, they don't do not to say that they don't do well in the U.S., but they don't do as well in the U.S. as they do overseas. TNA is huge in India, and TNA is huge. Wrestling's huge in India. They still believe in kayfabe. It's wonderful. And in England and the UK, TNA is extremely, extremely popular. And when they book fucking 8 shows, they tape 8 shows in a row there, and the crowd's hot for it. So I think WWE should take a nod from that. You don't have to bring your full roster on an overseas thing, and you could fucking tape SmackDown and Superstars or something. It doesn't really matter, and then that means that you don't have to pay for one of your big name guys to be overseas extra. You could do instead of putting Reigns, you put Ambrose or Ryder or Owens, and you don't put a guy like Cena on the tour or a guy like Rollins on the tour. I think they could do, if they did some spot shows or spot tapings in Europe, they could probably make the product look better, and you have that overness, the international overness for everybody, because it's refreshing to see Zack Ryder get cheered. Like I went on a roller coaster with Zack Ryder. I liked him, and then I fucking hated him because he just got on Twitter and got all depressed. He got over again. And he had an international crowd to do it because he was fresh to them. So I feel like these guys who aren't over in the U.S. will be automatically fresh just going 2,000 miles across the ocean.
It's a different thing. I mean, it's a different thing. It's a different environment. It's a different thing to be overseas. I mean, I'm 100% agree with you. Now, I will. Oh, guys, sorry. All right. So, yeah, no. It was a call coming in. So here's the thing. I will tell you guys from my overall experience for WrestleMania. I can tell you this from my company's perspective. It was the biggest weekend of our company's existence. We've been nothing but praised. Lanny Poffo went on social media today and put us over like $1 million. That put me over as a promoter. That I promised him a couple things when he got there, and I went ahead and made sure I got over delivered. And also every talent that we had came on social media this weekend and put us over. We had fans that have been Facebooking us all weekend, messaging us, talking about the incredible efforts that we put into it. And I would definitely say that we, as a company, grew a lot for WrestleMania. And it was amazing, to sit back now and you look at where our company was. June, because our company's not even a year old. And to be there that weekend and have so many promoters and so many talents and so many people come up to us and say, man, you guys are running a great company. And have people that I didn't even know that knew me come up to me and say, hey, Charlie, how you doing? Good to see you. How's your company going? Good, man. Glad to see you guys are doing really good. And it was the most amazing for our career, and I'm so grateful to have that experience. And I can tell anybody this. If you're in the business, you're not in the business, whatever it may be, take the effort to come to WrestleMania week, not WrestleMania weekend for just the WWE. Experience as much as you can. We did the NWA show Thursday night. David Fuller down in Texas, young promoter. I know he's got a lot going on. He's trying to kind of branch out, doing his own thing, and we've signed up a couple deals to do some things with him. Very excitable guy. We got obviously that. We obviously did WrestleCon both nights. We were, and then I got a great story I'll share with you guys in Charlie's story time about the Saturday night how I didn't make it home to the house on Sunday.
Yeah, and listen, just as an aside, first of all, shout out to High Spots, Mike Bucuccio, Jake Manscout Manning, Caleb Conley, Cedric. Everybody over there works their fucking balls off all year. You don't even know. Yesterday, they started planning for next year. I can guarantee you that. They worked their asses off for this fucking show, and it started small. I remember WrestleMania 29, I thought was, a decent-sized convention. They had a lot of big names, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Sheiky Baby, fucking Superstar Graham. Everybody was there. Liger was there. Liger was there signing autographs next to $5 Wrestling's Freight Train. But anyway, then I went to 30, and WrestleMania 30, when they had it at the convention center in New Orleans down the street from the Superdome, like a mile and a half away, it was so fucking huge. The main event, and it used to be just little spot shows, and they were great indie shows, and they would work out like deals with like Dragon Gate would get 1 hour, and then like Shimmer would get an hour, etc., etc. And they were still doing that, but they finished off with their own WrestleCon like themed show, and the main event was Jeff Jarrett against Colt Cabana, which, okay, put any notions you have. If you don't like either guy, Jeff Jarrett is, for whatever he's done politically in wrestling, promos were always on point, and his wrestling, he's a good hand, and he had that fucking, he did that little MMA gimmick where he was tapping out little kids, and that was hilarious. And then Colt Cabana, who, again, you look at him, schlubby kind of guy, Jewy, and he knows he's Jewy looking, it's fine, but he makes it work. He's like the Jewy Dusty Rhodes almost, and I'm not going to say that he's as good a wrestler as Dusty Rhodes, but again, he's a good hand. And you've got, I remember just seeing from little, setting up plastic chairs and whatever at one WrestleCon to LED screens and lights and a fucking big lighting rig and this whole thing, and they were put 2 big screens. These guys went from nothing to this fucking big show. I want to get these guys I should interview them in the podcast. I fucking love High Spots. They killed it, and I'm glad that to hear that Gimmick Tree fucking killed it as well.
And it was amazing, and that's one thing I will say about Mike. I mean, I know a lot of people, some people like Mike, some people don't like Mike, and don't get me wrong. To be honest with you, as a person that does business with Hot Spots, they're one of the most professional organizations you can do business with. If Mike tells you something, it is what it is. You may not like what he's telling you, or you may disagree. Now, don't get me wrong, I disagree all the time with what he says, but he does do business the right way. I will never put that down. We will have a major announcement that will be involving, well, I guess I can go ahead and tell it now, I guess. I mean, okay, remember how you said they're already planning yesterday for next year?
Yeah.
We hosted 2 Q&As for them. One of the Q&A was Lanny Poffo, which was amazing, remembering the Macho Man. And the other one was actually the Ed Farrar and Vince Russo Q&A, which was red hot. I mean, beyond.
Sure.
And it was hosted by one of our guys, Big Mike Scott. And literally, I had 2 or 3 people come over to me and ask me, "Hey, can you guys do it again next year?" I was like, "Yeah, of course. We'll be here with vendor tables, sure." No. But can you guys do the Q&A in Orlando next year?
Hell
yeah, man. So we can I literally went over to Ed and Vince, and I mean, obviously they're in our wheelhouse, and I will say this much about Ed Fart. Ed Fart does not do appearances. He honestly refuses to do appearance. And he came to me and he was like, "Hey man, can we set up for next year maybe to do this again? I'm in Orlando. You ain't got to pay for a hotel or transit." I'm like trying to pitch it to me, and I'm ready to go pitch it to him. I'm like, "Well, I'll think about it for." Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Fabe.
He was such a nice guy. He was so great. I actually was in the car with him. We took him back to the airport, and he was just awesome. Really, really cool guy. I also, before we get into story time with Charlie too, I just wanted to point this out too that we didn't touch real quick. Charlie had mentioned production. Those entrances at Mania this year were fantastic. Everything from that full-size Booty-O's box, which was great.
that was great.
The New Day was awesome, both on Raw and at Mania as always. And then even the Triple H Stephanie entrance I thought was awesome. And
that was great, but that's exactly how the crowd feels. That Titantron with their mouths stapled shut is like everybody trying to tell them Roman Reigns shouldn't be the top guy. That's how they feel right now. So way to make that a little real life.
Right. It was just, and I honestly thought when all those guys were coming down with the skulls on and the belts, I honestly thought Rollins was going to be one of them, or and something was going to happen.
Like jumping him.
Right. I thought that was going to be, but it is what it is. And one last thing too. The butterfly belt is fucking gone, and we no longer call them divas. They are women wrestlers, and I'm very excited about that.
Wrestlers, because they fucking wrestle, okay?
And you know what else?
End of story.
The new belt shows you the equality, because it's an exact duplicate of the men's championship. It's just white with the red plate, and that's awesome.
And you know what they didn't do? They didn't make the plates pink, and they didn't put butterflies on them. Like, they had every opportunity to make the leather pink, or to make the background of the WWE logo pink, or to add bedazzled bullshit to it. They had they really could have done it, and they chose not to.
They did a good job.
They took it seriously.
Yeah.
It looks like a belt.
I will say this much. My personal opinion of Charlotte being the first women's champion is nothing but political.
Oh yes, 100. I'm so glad you brought that up, because not that she doesn't represent the belt well, but the story that they were telling building to WrestleMania, especially the clip where they said, whoever one person's going to fade into obscurity and the other person is going to be a trivia question: who got pinned by Charlotte Flair?
Yep. Sasha. Obviously the story was Sasha Banks. Obviously, Snoop brought her out and was phenomenal. She had the thing, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Sasha Banks." When you're gonna say that this is the first women's champion, and you got Ric Flair's daughter sitting right there, that's what it was. That's just my personal opinion. It's a little side note I want to throw out there. I know I'm probably gonna get some heat for that, so is what it is. But there's nobody right now as hot as Sasha Banks,
right?
And I'm talking about
Dog. They gave her one of the best entrances of the night.
Yep.
Well, and what truly to me was special about that was somebody's dreams coming true.
Yeah.
And she didn't get a WrestleMania moment, in the ring, but she got a WrestleMania moment outside of the ring.
Absolutely.
To me, though, here's my perspective of it. You had an opportunity to give us what we all want. You weren't going to give us what we wanted in Roman. Because everybody, after Shane won, you called it Roman's winning. And I said, I sat right beside my buddy. I said, and I tell you right now, Roman's winning the title. And you didn't give us what we wanted there. You had the opportunity. You could have made it where, you had Snoop in there rapping her after she won the title, fireworks going off. But, again, it just shows our business is political. It is what it is, unfortunately. And I really can say this. I'm disappointed of WrestleMania because, but I mean, as a booker, I get it. The chase is always better than the person that already has the title having to defend it again. So, I mean, now obviously we'll go into a program where Sasha's chasing Charlotte, more one-on-one. Becky kind of fades out a little bit, right? Maybe.
Well, it was interesting that they had them all walk out on her.
Right.
That was kind of a good. It reset the chessboard because then Natty was the only one that stayed out there, and of course Natty's going to go put her over next. Just like AJ Styles won the Who Gets to Put Over Roman at Payback, or I almost called it Backlash, but Who Gets to Put Over Roman at
But
Payback.
He's getting the opportunity, and that's awesome. And that's going to solidify a heel turn for Reigns because AJ's so over.
He's not going to be a babyface at Payback in Chicago. It's in Chicago. This is not going to work out in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, but.
Do they turn him or do they ride this? Because look what they did on Monday. They said, I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, because there are no baby faces and heels in WWE anymore. If you interview a wrestler, superstar, you can't say wrestler. If you interview a superstar, they will say there's no more baby faces and heels.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I was there in Raw when he said, I'm not a good guy, I'm not a bad guy, I'm the guy.
Right.
But I swear he was cutting a heel promo. I was watching it from as somebody nodded at me, Roman's talking. I'm like, oh, well, what happened? Roman's talking? What are you talking about? What's going on here? And shoot, 100%, I fell asleep twice during Raw. Just being so a weekend.
So that segment with Reigns, I'm glad we looped back around it. First of all, I'm going to let you know, Ryan, our temp, Ryan the intern, is... he's in the chat here on YouTube.
Hold on. One thing. Look, I'll go into Charlie's story time, and I got a great story of the after party or / party during the Super Show that we all went to. All
right.
Me did, but before I get into that, I have to bring up. And Steve, can I see your face during this, please?
Here we go. You know
I see your little tag me a date gimmick thing, but I can actually
get a haircut. But hey, all right.
Okay. Now, I've been at Steve's house. We've had dinner, everything. I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be awesome. I literally Thursday night, Steve arrives. Now I'm literally no. Keep that stupid little gimmick thing off there for a minute. I want to see your expression and tell me when I'm lying on anything. Now, I'm at the NWA show on Thursday night. Now, all of a sudden, I'm there, and this motherfucker comes into town. And I had one of my guys there. I get a phone call. Why'd you bring a blind guy to WrestleMania? I said, what? What are you talking about? A blind guy? He's like, what? This Steve's guy's like running around here. He's like, I can't see.
Was it Josie?
Oh, that's such a dick.
Was it Josie? It had to be Josie.
Now, this is what happens. So I'm like, a blind guy? Oh, Justin stretches. Like, son of a bitch. Okay, so I get there. I'm like, so I walk in. This is like 11 at night. The brother got dark shades on.
Yeah. I told you Ray Charles all night.
That's terrible.
So obviously, the house is jam-packed with people. Which now, don't get me wrong, we weren't sleeping 20 deep in this house. We probably had, 6 people. So, but thing is obviously there's only so many showers per deal. And I mean, I had my own room, which Steve can testify how nice my room was. I mean,
that shit was gangster. That room. That was like pimp room. It was very nice.
And so I'm nice enough to say, well, hey, if one of you guys need to use my shower in the morning, that's fine. So I wake up and I'm like, okay, making sure everybody's getting their shower time early. So this is 5 in the morning, and here comes Justin out with no shirt on, boxers.
And you know how hairy this dude is. I told them the peacock story, but go ahead.
Okay, and so all of a sudden he's walking by me. Get in the shower here. I was like, brother, are you for real? It's 5 in the morning. Yes, you can use the shower. Thank you. What's wrong with you? Why can't you talk right? My hurts. It hurts. My hurts.
This kid was in so much fucking pain.
Hold on. I need a clarification. Oh my god, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. Oh, okay.
So literally, he's knocking stuff over in the bathroom at 5 in the morning.
Wait, guys, I need one of or both of you to confirm this. Was he talking funny because his eye hurt?
Yes.
You know, it was like a painful voice, you know, like,
Did he sound like Jameson, who used to manage the fucking Bushwhackers?
No, nobody sounded like he sounded. What is that stupid movie from the 80s, The Goonies?
Yes.
You know the guy that was in the basement?
Chunk. Not
it was affecting the entire side of his face.
No.
My cat scratched me before I left.
We gotta make sure Stacy doesn't watch this podcast because she's gonna kick your ass.
Oh man, that's why I wear glasses around my cat.
Yeah, no, but it was affecting the whole side of his face. I did feel bad for the kid. He was miserable.
So to continue this, So every 5 minutes, brother would ask me something. Hey, can I see? I do this.
You're a grown man, Justin. You can do it. It's okay.
It was hilarious.
So literally, we stopped at this is some point in the weekend, I can't remember. We stopped somewhere to eat.
Culver's.
And Culver's, yes. And Justin says, "Are we?" Everybody's out of the car. Everyone's ordering the food. Half the people are sitting down. Are you eating here?
Oh, I shouldn't have taken a sip when I took a sip. I almost died. Oh.
God.
Just to reiterate his point, half the people were already sitting down with their trays of food eating.
So he asked if he could eat there, and everybody was already. You'd already made the decision.
He didn't ask if he could. He said, "Are we?" Dude, no, we're all gonna sit and eat, but you take it with you.
And then it gets better. It gets better. He looks at me, and they hand him a cup and a straw. What am I supposed to do this?
What? No, he didn't understand. It was refills, right? You put the cup under the thing?
Nah, brother. They handed him with the soda, with the straw, and he says, "What am I supposed to do with this straw?"
Oh, well, no, he did that at that point just to keep asking you dumb questions at that point.
Thank God.
Then he just started fucking with, because then it was like, everything, he's like, are we, so we're going to sit here, Charlie? You know, then he just started, doing it, It was
no, Steve, don't defend that stupid shit. Don't defend that stupid shit. He,
I really, the thoughts expressed by Charlie Armstrong are not necessarily those of TagMeDate.com.
It does get better. As now we're sitting there Saturday at WrestleCon, and I say, "Hey, Justin, would you mind going upstairs?" Now, I won't put the person's name on blast because, just out of respect to her. She was like, I'm tired of being here. I've been here 2 days. I'm fucking worn out. I need a beer. Can you go get me a styrofoam cup and put the beer in the cup? And I'm like, okay. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, let me check the promoter first. I know the promoter very well. We're friends. The promoter's like, I don't care. I just make sure they kayfabe, make sure it's put in a Star Cups thing. That was a secret thing for anybody that went to WrestleCon. Anybody that walked by and seen someone drinking from a Starbucks cup all day.
Yeah, they were drinking beer or wine.
They're drinking beer or wine. Besides Jasmine St. Clair, who just drank wine at our table.
She straight up had a glass. She didn't give a fuck. She got mad because she wanted me to get her a glass of white at 10:30 in the morning, and the bar wouldn't serve it till 12:30. And she was like, "What the fuck? We're in Texas. Why can't I get some fucking wine?" And I was like, "Jess, you gotta wait 2 hours. I'll get you a glass."
So literally, I'm like, Justin, I need you to go get a styrofoam. I need to go to Starbucks, get a cup. Dump the coffee out, go buy a beer, I'll give you the money.
Mind you, he does send the blind guy. I will say that.
I can imagine him trying to get some coffee. Like, does he miss it? Like, if you handed him something, did he miss it the first time? Did he try and he went left, he went right, and then he got it in the center the third time?
He got lost. The bar was up to the right. Brother was near the parking lot when we found it.
I went to the liquor store. Charlie, I need $30. What the fuck happened? I went to the liquor store and I got you beer. The fuck, man?
Oh, that's so funny.
It got way worse when the fact that now they're going to NXT. And I did calmly say to him, "Oh, I'm not getting to the App Store yet. I'll get to the App Store."
All right.
Literally, brother told me, said, "I'm not gonna. It's gonna be hard for me to see NXT." And I was like, "Well, give me a goddamn ticket. I'll go watch NXT. You're in pain." Oh no! I'm going to NXT. NXT. Like, what is wrong with you? And so we're trying to figure out, because NXT, we didn't know what time they were going to be done. I'm thinking it's pay-per-view. They're probably going to run late. You got Joe, especially got Nakamura and Sammy. The shit's going to run late. So now I got guys going to Hall of Fame. To be honest with you, we were supposed to do CZW with Gabe, and I was so done at that point. Throughout the day of just the craziest long day ever. And so, and knowing that we wanted to kind of relax, and we actually ended up Saturday night. Friday night. This was Friday night. I'm sorry, not Saturday. We ended up going back to the house and just barbecuing with a bunch of guys and just hanging out. So literally, I'm telling Steve, "Hey, bro, I really don't know if because Steve didn't have a rental car for that. I told him he didn't need one. We'd get him around. Hey, bro, I really don't think I'm going to be able to come get you. You might want to go ahead and just download Uber or Lyft to your phone."
Now, at this point, mind you, my phone has completely died.
Right.
I have nowhere to charge it. I have a completely dead phone. Charlie, go ahead. Look.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, no problem, bro. But just if you download it, I already went on my phone. It's going to cost you, $20 to $30 maybe to get back to our house. Maybe $35 depending on if the rate's really high.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking, cool. Well, he's telling Justin, you got to download this to your home so we can get home. I'm not downloading it to my phone. That's gonna make my rate go up. Not the Wi-Fi's gonna make it go up.
He goes, "That's gonna eat up all my data. I'm not downloading Uber." I was like, "Bro, you would rather pay $80 to take a fucking yellow cab or $30 with Uber?" He's like, "I'm not fucking wasting my. You're gonna pay for my overage?" I was like, "Fuck no." I was like, "Just fucking download it. We'll order the Uber and then delete the shit."
Right. It will literally take about 2 minutes to download something.
Right.
And brother was like, "My overage plan, my overage plan, it's not fair. I live with a bunch of cats. cat.
And just for the record, we wound up taking a yellow cab, and it was $80.
Fuck. Like, here's the thing. He was going to Starbucks to get you a coffee. Starbucks has Wi-Fi. Hooked to the Wi-Fi. Download the fucking app. It's free. Like find Wi-Fi.
That was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely.
Sounds like it.
I looked at brother, and I told brother, and this is the God's honest truth. Vince, you're more than welcome in Orlando next year. We're renting a house. You're welcome.
I am definitely going, so I will be there.
He's welcome. Steve is welcome. But Mr. he fucking asked for a hotel.
Oh no. Oh man. How did
it was comic though.
How did he scratch it?
He doesn't really.
I told you guys his cat scratched his eye. He has 72 cats. I've told you.
He has no cats. I honestly don't. He doesn't know. He said that he felt something in his eye. He felt something in his eye. He rubbed it, and next thing you know, he was blurry and it was in a lot of pain. He went to the eye doctor, and they said that he scratched his cornea.
Ryan says in the chat he's also going to be at WrestleMania next year.
Ryan can get a hotel room.
Him and Zoe's can split one.
Him, Zoe, and Eric can all slub it up. The Motor Lodge is down to the left, boys.
It was funny, but it was all in all, it was a great time.
And Ryan, I'm just fucking with you. I'm just kidding. We could talk or something. Yeah, but brother, I mean, but my God, Steve, I mean, I have never in my life laughed so hard at someone.
Oh, I know. It was hilarious.
Not with someone, at someone.
Yeah.
At someone in front of them, and then keep going.
It was hilarious. It was so funny.
I came out and did his promo with Ray Wyatt when he was doing the leaders of the world. I just pictured brother the entire weekend. I was on the ground just.
We were trying to get him to go get an eye patch and be like Paul Burchill for the weekend, but
tap the fucking hook, brother. I mean, I've never seriously. So hilarious at WrestleMania. Damn! You tell him he gave me my WrestleMania moment just being around him all day.
You know what? He'd appreciate that, actually.
I'm being 100%. I have never laughed as hard as I have. And I'm sitting here.
He was unreal this week. Unreal.
And it was like it was the craziest questions too he would ask, and I know he wasn't screwing me. Sometimes he'd be like, "Hey, I can't figure out the shower up here in the shower."
Well, now to be fair, nobody could figure out that shower. Bill Apter had a problem too, and so did
Oh, good. Let's not talk about Bill Abner. Uncle Will.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Okay, listen.
I didn't know if you were going to bring that up.
I have nothing to do tonight. I have nothing to do tonight.
$703 later, should I?
What did you say? $703?
Yeah, it cost me $700. What?
They got the estimate already?
Oh, yeah. The estimate was done yesterday.
Holy shit, that was fast.
Yeah, no, she has a handyman that came and was like, "This is how much it's going to cost to fix this."
Wow.
Vince, we stayed in $1 million house, and out of all my guys there, I got indie workers, I got legends all out there, I got Mr. and the one guy that breaks something is the most classiest guy in our house, Bill Apter.
Bill Apter.
What did he do?
It would have been so much worse.
It is almost 8 o'clock, so we can say that for next time.
Okay.
Teaser.
Right. There we go. Excellent. We can hear about how Bill Apter broke something. That's wonderful. I guess I'm not going to save this one for next time because it's such a minor point. But I feel like Jim Cornette for saying it. But during the Sami Nakamura match, they had that extended 2-minute long let's forearm each other in the face spot, and I hate that spot. And it's the only spot in the match that I didn't like. And it was the only spot aside from the botch in the tag match, the American Alpha thing, where fucking, first of all, their shirt says no flips, just fists. And then what did they try and do? A fucking flipping, diving, powerbomb bullshit thing, and they botched it. Stick to the mat wrestling, guys. It's what your t-shirt says. Don't try that shit. That's why you can't do it. That's why the shirt says that. So that was the only big botch. The spot that I didn't like was a fucking forearm thing, because it means that either Sammy and Nakamura throw the world's weakest elbows, or AJ Styles, or forearms rather, or AJ Styles has the world's bionic fucking forearm, like Lex Luger bionic forearm, because somehow his forearm is a knockout, and those two guys could hit each other 30 times and still be standing. So, like, it's the same thing as like a super kick party. It makes a super kick look shitty. That makes the your forearm, if you're hitting somebody that many times, and I've watched UFC fights and street fights, if you hit somebody that many times in the face, they should go down. So are they really strong? Are you really weak? And then what happens when one guy hits one fucking deal and knocks somebody out?
I've been saying for a long time that shouldn't be his finish.
Since you did bring him up real quick, I will give you a quick Jim Cornette story that I have for WrestleMania, and it's very quick, about 3 minutes. You can prep whatever you want to do afterwards, but literally, I walk into the building. Now, everyone knows that we work with Vince Russo, and we got Vince on several deals upcoming and everything. Mm-hmm. And Cornette literally is in the ring. Now, Cornette's in the ring doing his Cornette experience. The promoter runs up to me, "Hey, can you get Bill to go host it?" I'm like, Bill's like, "What do you want me to do?" I was like, go ahead, we'll go set up our table. I'm literally sitting at my table up. Cornette sees me from the ring and says, "There's the motherfucker right there that's bringing Vince Russo to WrestleCon." He said, "I wouldn't buy a fucking thing from him."
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I didn't know that.
Was he hot or was he joking?
Oh, he was dead serious. Then he went on a rant about Vince for about 45 minutes, right?
Oh, I wish somebody was there with a tape recorder.
I'm sure it was taped. I'm sure it was. And he made a comment. He said, and so Bill played it off and played comical with it and got over. And we actually sold Bill's books out that first night, the batch that we brought. And I was like, I got one more book left from the asshole that brought Vince Russo. So fast forward to the end of the night, midway through the night, right? Bill's getting a Hall of Fame induction. They asked me to host it. Or asked me to, introduce him.
Nice. And
I'm like, cool, no problem. I made sure I stayed dressed up for it. I came dressed up for it. Get into the ring, and literally, I'm in the ring with Bill. I cut a quick babyface promo. Hey, thanks guys for having me. I'm going all over the world with wrestling, and Texas fans are always the coolest and the best in the world. And classic babyface pop. The crowd goes crazy. The president of NWA comes out, shakes our hands, and here's where it got good. I did not know this. They honored Gary Hart because they're in Dallas, Texas. Mm-hmm. Gary's family was not able to attend. So they were going to bring Cornette out to accept the award. Now, we're all in the ring together. I see Cornette coming out, and I'm like, this motherfucker. Cornette gets in the ring, and he looks right at me. He has to shake my hand because it's political.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's shaking my hand. And I don't know if I can do it with my phone or not, so I have to do it like this. We go to shake hands, and I go like this to Cornette.
We don't see you, brother.
Yeah, we can't see it right now.
Okay. Well, what basically I did was I took my hand, and I took my index finger. I started scratching Cornette's hand as he's shaking my hand.
Oh, you did one of the what do they call that? The something palm? What did they used to call that in grammar school when you did that to somebody?
Yeah, just to rib him, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, by the way, Vince's pre-sales have sold out, and we're gonna bank out pretty goddamn good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And Cornette's just having a smile sitting there.
Now, I love Jim Cornette, and I know you've had a bad experience with him. But it's just so funny to see that. Because because the thing that I did was a seminar, and obviously there was no Vince Russo there to complain about. So that's just really interesting to see the two different aspects of somebody's personality like that.
But what the problem is brother will sit there and he won't let shit go. If you listen to Cornette's podcast, he still fuck Vince Russo, fuck Shawn, and that thing. He said Shawn Michaels sucked dick. He called Kevin Nash out for stuff. I mean, he was just over the top, and I'm sitting here like, dude, this shit is all 20 years old or more. Let the shit go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, either let the shit.
I agree. You gotta.
You're obviously
reasons.
making no money at this shit because here's the thing. And let everyone know that Vince Russo just signed with the same podcast distributor that does Jim Ross and Stone Cold Steve Austin. So he'll be on starting this week, starting 5 times a week.
On Podcast One?
Podcast One, yes, sir.
Excellent.
Now, and I mean, obviously, it is what it is. You know, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of heat there, and always will be. But to me, it's like the only way you get a reaction out of people is when you talk about when you got to put someone down, like on stage in front of everybody. But that was just my Jim Cornette experience. But again, you can take it from the guy that's booked both of them, and I can tell you, no problems out of Vince Russo. I'll be 100% honest with you. We had a major issue with traffic in Dallas on Friday night when we were picking these guys up, because obviously it's Friday night. Vince was probably at the airport an additional 30, 40 minutes waiting for somebody, and it wasn't no one's fault. It's just traffic, and there was not one complaint out of Vince. Vince went to his hotel, not an issue. Went and got breakfast, completely fine. And the funny thing was, Cornette, I had Cornette in for an event, and Cornette, kind of like the eye guy. I need this. I need this. Somebody come hold my hand. Somebody up. I'm Jim Cornette. I was Memphis wrestling. Fuck Jim Cornette.
Yo, have you seen... Okay, I'm going to show this at the camera. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this kid gets German suplexed by his friend into a pool.
Oh, I saw that.
He hits his head on the way down. It's the gnarliest... gnarliest thing ever. Bad job, bro.
Oh, God forbid if Jim Cornette sees that, Jim Cornette will fucking start ranting and raving. The guy in wrestling who says that he left the WWE to get stress-free, all I hear is, fuck his ass. See, Vince, this is your own goddamn fault for bringing that piece of shit up.
I feel like me and him are kindred spirits sometimes because I like more old school booking stuff, and I know it's not really that popular with the modern audience, but hey, the one thing I did appreciate was that it was fucking clean finishes, and if I can appreciate anything from this weekend, it was that they were all clean finishes, except for the Flair one, and again we know that's political, but everything else was a clean fucking finish.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, it's been amazing as usual with you guys here tonight. But
yes, we need you. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up real briefly because I'm putting you over here. You and Jason Kincaid had a promo up on Facebook that I saw, and it looks like some interesting happenings at your next show regarding Tommy Dreamer putting his career on the line for a title shot.
Fuck Tommy Dreamer.
There we go. All right. I think one of these days, like I said, we got to get Jason Kincaid on the show. We got to get Jason Kincaid on here and talk about that.
Actually, I will see Jason Kincaid this weekend. He will be in Hubert, North Carolina, as Jason Kincaid will be defending the Modern Vintage Heavyweight Championship. He will actually be. What we're doing is we're taking the champion on the road, and we'll be going mini promotions. We'll be visiting Steve Carino's hot promotion down in Jacksonville and Hubert area for 2 nights back to back this weekend, Friday and Saturday. The champ will be there, and on Saturday night on the military base, Jason the Gift Kincaid will take on Kobe Carino. It'll be the first time ever they will be facing each other. And Kobe says that he's going to be our next champion, and I don't know. Jason says he's got other plans for that. I will be in the house that night, and I promise I will not interfere.
Okay.
Scout's honor.
Okay, we'll see.
Scout's honor. I will have no involvement in the finish of the match.
All right, there you go.
Maybe the middle. But no, Jason Gift Cade. July 30th, obviously, Wilmington, North Carolina. I could go on for another 2 hours about the other promotion in town, what they tried to do to us today, but I have legal documents. But,
we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week, but I noticed on Twitter that somebody also, like, you have a very nice new belt here, and then it was very conspicuous in the timing of a WrestleMania weekend. I think I saw a picture on Twitter today or yesterday that somebody else also has a new belt. And can I just say, your belt is nicer. Yeah.
Well, our belt actually looks like a wrestling belt versus a trophy shop belt that you buy for $199.
Fire!
And what I honestly wish that other promoter and Jim Cornette would all go do. I wish they would all get together and in one big building so I could just blow the son of a bitch up and free the world of stress and headache.
And on that note.
Oh, man, on that note, we are live and in public, baby. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Time. We go about an hour, maybe a little bit longer if Charlie's here telling stories, but we don't mind taking a little extra time, especially when it's a good story. So we are here again every Tuesday night.
We never even got into it. We'll save it for another time, or it can go into the vault for future, but we never got into the after party of the WrestleCade Super Show. But I will promise you this much. Here's one thing you never do. Never let Jay Lethal hand you something and say, drink this, brother, and you'll be okay.
No! Oh, man. Okay, we have to hear that as well. Looks like we got a couple Charlie stories. And plus, Ryan and Eric should be joining us again next week. So we can get their take on WrestleMania. And see, we'll just keep talking about it because I feel like what happened this week is still going to be relevant next week and how it applies to whatever's going forward, because we have AJ Styles, we have Roman Reigns, who's a babyface, who's a heel, who fucking knows. All we know is that Jericho got his win back for Fandango at WrestleMania. That was that was why he won. They threw him a bone for putting over Fandango. No.
All right, guys. Well, I'm outie. I will catch you guys next week, and I will be harassing people all through Facebook and Twitter, and obviously my Instagram, which is the hottest Instagram in the world, because I follow only 2 people, and I have over 500 followers now. Pretty fucking amazing.
Nice. All right. So thank you, Charlie Armstrong, Gimmick Entertainment. Check them out. And again, we are from tagmeadate.com. My name is Vince Barry. I'm the host from Northeast Wrestling. You can check out upcoming shows. It's wrestling season. We're going to have so many shows coming up. Northeastwrestling.com. And, of course, Tag Me a Date. They're sponsoring everybody. They're sponsoring Gimmickry. They're co-promoting with Gimmickry, all this kind of shit. They're doing Northeast Wrestling. They have a table at those events. They're everywhere. And you should sign up for tagmeadate.com. You can meet your wrestling tag team partner, your bedroom wrestling tag team partner. You can win the Pantsless Tag Team Championship with the love of your life. Things took a weird turn halfway through that sentence. And you should visit tagmeadate.com and sign up. What's the worst that could happen? Like, I hate to sound like that, but really, you've been on a dating site before, and it probably really sucked. And that's because they weren't wrestling fans. So going in, they're all wrestling fans, and they're not going to say, why did you? I had a girlfriend. Okay, I'm going to tell this story, then we're going to leave because it's really short. I had a girlfriend. I went to WrestleMania 29. She got so pissed when she found out that WrestleMania 29 wasn't the season finale. She thought that WrestleMania 29 was like the Super Bowl or the World Series where they took like 4 months off. So when I was watching wrestling on TV the next night, she's like, "What the fuck is that?" So so she can suck a dick. She wasn't very good at it anyway, but she can suck it. But you should tell people to suck it within the context of wrestling, like DX, because you can find your wrestling tag team partner, your real life tag team partner, doing the no pants pile driver, and at tagmeadate.com. That's not going to be their tagline going forward. I promise you. That will not be on any t-shirts. But I will play a message from Jason Carrion from Married at First Sight, the reality show where, yes, this gentleman and a lovely lady got married at first sight. Little did she know he was also a big wrestling fan.
Hi, I'm Jason Carrion. I got married to a complete stranger, but you don't have to go through that. I want to talk to you about something called Tag Me a Date. Now, Tag Me a Date, you create your profile, and you can meet other wrestling fans. You can meet people, develop relationships with them, and you don't got to go through what I had to go through, where trying to develop a wrestling relationship with my wife. Well, she's growing on it, but not as much as you can grow into another relationship on Tag Me a Date. The first month is free, and I personally absolutely love it, and would do it if I didn't get married to a stranger. So do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go ahead. What are you still waiting for? Click.